Man, what is it today with micro video game consoles? You got the NES Classic Mini, the Super Nintendo Classic Mini, the PlayStation 1 Classic Mini, the Sega Genesis Mini is going to be coming out in September, and recently at this year's E3, Konami announced they're going to make a TurboGrafx 16 mini console. Like, holy crap! There's too many damn mini consoles. And then on top of that, you have these mini arcade cabinet tabletop. Well, no. Then you have these mini tabletop arcade cabinets. Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? It's the King of Games 98 here. And, well, let's see. I did a Neo Geo Mini review, and so I did a Neo Geo Mini review because I bought one, and I did a review video on that. So you guys saw that I own one. And in that video, as a size comparison, I also used this old school mini tabletop Donkey Kong arcade cabinet that I've had, and put it up against it as a size comparison. Well, recently I was in my local Walmart store, and if you've ever, no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it like that. If you've ever been in Walmart and looked at their video game section, I'm sure at some point or another you would have seen these new mini arcade cabinet. I'm sure you would have seen these mini tabletop arcade cabinets that have 1 or 2 games built into it, and that's it. Well, recently I was in a local Walmart. By where I live, and they had a load of these My Arcade tabletop arcade cabinets, and then they had like 2 different ones set aside by themselves in the clearance aisle. And believe it or not, there was one Galaxian tabletop mini arcade cabinet, and then there was a Karate Champ mini tabletop arcade cabinet, and I think there might have been a Bad Dudes one, but I don't remember exactly. Anyway, that's besides the point. This Walmart, for whatever reason, had these mini tabletop arcade cabinets on clearance for $5. No, I am not making that up. I swear to God, they had select ones, not all of them, select ones. There was this Galaxian one, Karate Champ, and I think Bad Dudes might have also been there. On clearance for $5. Yeah, holy freaking shit. Anyway, I decided to buy the Galaxian one because, for those of you who don't know, Galaga is one of my favorite arcade video games, like, of all time. And Galaxian is basically Galaga, but not called Galaga. Yeah, I don't know. That never really made any sense to me either, but, nonetheless, I knew Galaxian is Galaga, and I knew I would like the game. So for $5, I was like, this is a no-brainer. What I should have done, though, is since these select mini tabletop arcade cabinets were on clearance for $5, what I should have done is I should have bought myself a couple of them, because if only $5 a piece, that was a smoking good deal. But anyway, who cares? That's besides the point. I guess at the time, I was only thinking of myself and not trying to be greedy, and so I just bought myself the Galaxian one. So, for those of you who are wondering, if you have never seen these mini tabletop arcade cabinets in Walmart before. They are regularly $24.95. Yes, you heard that correct. These little shittin' tabletop arcade cabinets are regularly $25 a piece. Yes, $25 a piece. That to me seemed like a bit much for that. I mean, come on, look at that. Look at this. Like, yeah, $25 for this. Really? Like, no. So, you know, that's why when I saw they had a couple specific ones on clearance for only $5 a piece, and I saw that this was actually the last Galaxian one that was there in the clearance section for $5. You know, when I saw that they had a Galaxian one on clearance for only $5, I had to get it. So without further ado, I am going to open up this bad boy and do a little review video on it. Basically the same thing I did with when I got my Neo Geo Mini. I'm going to open it, do a little review, share my thoughts, feelings, opinions about it, and then I'm actually going to show it working and playing Galaxian, and, you know, share my opinions about how it plays. Okay, so without further ado, let's open this. Okay, that opens like that. Okay, so what do we got here first? First, right on top, we have the My Arcade Galaxian Micro Player Retro Arcade User Guide. Holy freaking crap, could they make the name of this thing any goddamn longer? Oh my god, like, oh. And it's even in Japanese. That's helpful. Okay, well, I obviously don't need to look through this, but, you know, it is nice that they did include an instruction manual, but, yeah, I'm smart enough, I don't need an instruction manual. But yeah, seriously, My Arcade, you gotta work on shortening that name. Okay, so now we got a big, oh, it's just one plastic piece. Okay, and then out comes the whole mini arcade. Okay, let's move this back. Okay, so there's the arcade out of the box. There's the box, plastic, instruction manual. Okay. Okay, so this is the whole mini tabletop Galaxian arcade cabinet. At first appearance, at first glance, I think the thing looks really nice and cool looking. You know, for a mini tabletop arcade cabinet, I think it looks great. God, look at the side, that original Galaxian artwork. That's freaking awesome. The back, let's see the back. Oh, okay. That's where the batteries go. That's the speaker. Oh, wow, it even has a headphone jack. Guys, that's a headphone jack all the way up there. Wow, that's pretty neat. On the left side, have the same artwork, though it looks very cool. Okay, nothing on the bottom. That's cool that they even like tried to keep it original, authentic, like an original arcade cabinet, and have like the coin slots. Okay, so let's see. This says to peel off. Ah, aha! Look at that. That's pretty cool. They must have took a screenshot in game and then printed it to go right on the screen. That's pretty cool though. Okay, so that's off. And then, was there anything else that I needed to take off of this? I don't believe so. Okay. So that's that. Yeah, so far, at first glance, at first appearance, just, you know, just right out of taking it out of the box, I think it's really nice looking, you know, for what it is. I think it's really nice looking, but here's my problem. My problem with this is the fact that it was originally $24.95 retail price. Why was this originally retail $25? Why? Like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I sound crazy saying this, but that to me just seems like too much money for just that little thing. I don't know. But one really cool, important thing I do want to point out though with this is you can play this mini tabletop arcade cabinet one of two ways. And what I mean by that is to power the mini tabletop arcade cabinet, you can power it one of two ways, which I think is really cool. The first way is taking the back battery cover off, and you can pop in 4 AA batteries right there, put the cover back on, and you can power it using 4 AA batteries. Simple, easy enough. I think that's great. Just make sure and don't leave the batteries in for like 5 years, because they'll corrode and the corrosion will freaking rust out all that. So that's the first way. And the second way you can power this little thing, they were actually smart enough, and they put a micro USB port on the back of this console. So yeah, there's actually 2 different ways you can power this mini tabletop arcade cabinet. The first is just popping in 4 AA batteries. And the second is getting a micro USB cable and plugging it into an adapter, and then just manually plugging it into a regular electrical outlet. So I think that's great. That's awesome. I think whoever had that idea to make this like that was very smart. I love that. And right off the bat, after pointing that out to you guys, I want to make it known that my original Donkey Kong mini tabletop arcade cabinet, that thing, well, partially, I think this is like this only because it's really old, but that only runs off of, that thing can only be powered by 4 C-size batteries. Only 4 C-size batteries. That's the only way you can power this thing. If you don't put in 4 C-size batteries, you're not able to play it. Now with, so that was the Donkey Kong mini arcade cabinet. Now with the Neo Geo Mini, again, there is only one way to power that, and that is by a USB-C port on the back of it, plugged into a USB Type-C cable, and then attach a power adapter to the end of the cord, and you just plug it into a regular electrical outlet. But that's the only way that can be powered. This, I think, is great because it has 2 different ways to power it. Yeah. Okay, guys, so without further ado, because I think I rambled a little bit way too much about how there's 2 different ways to power it, I'm going to pause this real quick, pop in some batteries, and I'm going to show you how this thing plays and controls, and then we're going to wrap up this review video. Okay, guys, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Okay, so I just popped in 4 AA batteries into my Galaxian mini tabletop arcade cabinet, and let's power it on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just changed. I just lowered my cell phone tripod to get it at a better angle where you could see me. Well, where you could see the mini arcade cabinet better and see me turn it on and play it. Huh. Okay. This is weird. Right? That is start. Okay. This is weird. Okay, guys. Well, I feel really dumb. I guess I did need to look at the instruction manual. I was pressing the start button to turn it on when apparently this is the on-off button. Oh man, I feel really dumb about that. Oh well. Okay, guys. So as you can see, the Galaxian arcade cabinet is on. And it's just, you know, running through it. And all right, so let's start it. Well, yeah, there's no way I could avoid that. Okay, well, I think that's enough gameplay and probably enough that all you guys need to... Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So those light up. You push it on once and it lights up and turns on. And then I guess you push it again and it turns off. That's pretty cool. All right, so I think that's enough gameplay you guys need to see of watching me play Galaxian. Okay, so what are my thoughts, feelings, opinions about this My Arcade Micro Player Retro Arcade Galaxian? Well, I think it's really nicely made. I think it looks freaking fantastic. Whoever, you know, was in charge of designing these, I think they did an amazing job. The buttons on the arcade are very good, very responsive. I think the emulation of the game, I think is spot on. It's amazing. It runs great. Like, I feel like I'm just, you know, still playing this in the arcade. I love it. Yeah, no, I really can't say a single bad thing about this thing. I think it's great. Well, I guess I can say one bad thing. Again, what really bothers me is that the original retail price of this was $25. I don't like that price, but maybe to other people, they don't think that's bad. You know, that's not a lot. I think for what this is, for $25, I think that's kind of too much. But hey, what do I know? So real quick, guys, before I wrap up this review video, I got my two other mini tabletop arcade cabinets, and I'm going to do a quick size comparison of them compared to the Galaxian tabletop. So first is my Donkey Kong one. So this So that is my Donkey Kong mini arcade cabinet size comparison to the Galaxian one. And then here is the Neo Geo Mini thrown in there for good measure. Yeah, so like right there, you can definitely tell there is a huge size comparison between those two and then that. Personally, I would say that it's nowhere near even close to the size of the Donkey Kong one. I would say it's more on par with the Neo Geo Mini, except it seems like the Galaxian arcade cabinet is actually slightly taller than the Neo Geo Mini. But nevertheless, it's still really cool. Okay, guys, so my final rate for the Galaxian My Arcade Microplayer Retro Arcade is going to be a 9 out of 10. And why a 9 out of 10? Because the original retail price of that is $25. Other than that, I would totally give it a perfect 10 because it's just such an awesome little mini arcade cabinet to have anywhere. In your man cave, in your nerd cave, at work, on a shelf, wherever. It will look great wherever you put it, especially if you have a game room like I do. It will look great in it. So, yep, that's my final rate, 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.